Tonight, there is, however, cautious hope of new gun control legislation following the recent school massacre in Uvalde, Texas. Speaking at the White House press briefing today, Hollywood actor Matthew McConaughey, who grew up in Uvalde, he called on lawmakers to put their differences aside and to take action. Take a listen.
We are in a window of opportunity right now that we have not been in before. A window where it seems like real change can happen. This should not be a partisan issue. There is not a Democratic or Republican value in one single act of these shooters. It's not. But people in power have failed to act. So we're asking you, and I'm asking you, will you please ask yourselves, can both sides rise above? Can both sides see beyond the political problem at hand and admit that we have a life preservation problem on our hands? We start by making the loss of these lives matter.
I want to go now to our Washington correspondent, Stefan Simons. He has reported he was just in Uvalde, Texas. Stefan, you've covered a lot of mass shootings in the U.S. Each time we hear that something must be done. Today marks 2 weeks since the Uvalde school massacre. I mean, is it going to be different this time? And I'm wondering, you know, having a movie star standing on the podium at the White House, I'm not so sure that that's going to move any of those senators in Congress.
Yeah, and you're rightfully so doubtful about this. No doubt this was a very emotional plea from Mr. McConaughey in here in D.C. That's not normally his stage. You know, he's normally talking to actors receiving awards or what have you, but definitely not to the Washington Press Corps. Anyhow, You're right. There is hope. There is hope, even with politicians here, even with the pundits, with the experts, with journalists who cover this a lot, that there will be some progress made. And when I say some progress, I mean baby steps, because everybody knows, despite his emotional pleas today at the White House press briefing, there will not be radical reform or any kind of real reform of the current gun law on a federal level. That's not going to happen, I believe, I'm afraid of.
We know that President Biden, he has spelled out what he wants to see. As you say, the political reality probably will not allow that. So what are you hearing in terms of what is most likely?
Well, so most likely is that senators, and this is all about the importance of the Senate, right? If senators, Republicans and Democrats can decide on something, and it looks like there's a negotiation team at the works every day for the last few days, week or so, and they probably be able to get a compromise on incentivizing states to adopt or pass red flag laws. And let me read this here so I make no mistake. Also, that, for example, the potential waiting time or period for 18 to 21-year-olds will be increased before they can actually get a weapon. They can buy it, but then they don't receive it. They have to wait a little longer. Maybe investment in more mental health care and an improvement in school safety. So that's all the nice stuff. But what's not on the table is, for example, increasing the age to buy AR-15 style weapons from 18 to 21-year-olds. Not going to happen, probably. Ban on an assault rifle, not happening. Universal background checks, also not in the books. And restricting the magazines, you know, those high-powered magazines, you can 50, 70, 60 bullets in there.
Right.
That's also pretty much off the table. So there you go. That's what you have.
So, Stefan, let me throw something at you here. As you coming from Germany, living in the United States, how does it strike you that in the United States you have to be 21 to buy a beer, but you've got senators who don't want you to have to be 21 to buy a weapon that was designed to kill as many people in as short a time as possible?
Yeah, what can I say? It is if you look from the outside at this, you are just baffled, I think, and you shake your head in disbelief. You have to have a fishing license in all of the states, all 50 states, and you do not have to have a license to carry or purchase a gun. You can drive when you're 16. Here in Europe, 18, and 2 years later you can walk around with a gun, open carry, without license. Even now, you can hide your gun in some states and don't even need a license for that. It makes no sense for Europeans or for probably other people around the world. It's not fathomable.
Yeah, we hear from a lot of viewers in the U.S. too. They don't understand this either. Republican senators, they are insisting that any legislation include funding for increasing security at schools. I mean, we're looking at schools a la gated communities. Do U.S. parents, do they want this?
I don't know. I can't. I don't think so. I've talked to a few parents who said this is ridiculous. I don't need to be in my school where my kids go, my elementary school, my middle school, my high school, to be Fort Knox. On the other hand, there are people who are in support of this, who say, like, you know what, and this is this old put more guns in the good guys' hands, right? Yeah. Put a resource officer fully armed at every school, metal detectors, arm the teachers, fence around it, what have you. There is a segment of people in the United States who say, yeah, okay, if that's necessary to protect my Second Amendment right that anybody can have the right, any American has the right to bear arms, then so be it. But I would say that in the metropolitan area, the urban areas, progressive Democrat areas, there's a staunch opposition against this, of course, yeah.
All right, our correspondent Stefan Simons in Washington helping us understand the problem with guns in America. Stefan, thank you.